Hi, I'm Kimmie Rose and welcome to InnerViews. Today I am joined by a very, very special friend and teacher, Carolyn Boatman. We had a chance to connect a few years ago, and I got a real opportunity to learn a lot about her and the gifts that she shared. And going through things, many of you know you go through these hiccups, I call them, along the road where you really, really want to reach deeper inside of yourself and to embrace an understanding of how do I just get this monkey mind out of the way. And what I love about Telos TV is it brings to you a wonderful, wonderful array of wonderful teachers, guests, and people that take their time to reach out and to love and to share with you. So I hope as you are, and I'm setting the intention, as you are with us, that you can feel the presence as we sit in this wonderful shade garden. We are at a very, very special place. This is your home.
Yes.
And your husband, Wes Boatman's home. And it is the Country Retreat Center. And I just have to, I want to start because I was talking to your husband, and he said that you lived, I want to kind of get to how you got here, okay?
Okay.
You lived in California,
Yes, for 4 years.
and most of the people I talk to say that there's something inside that just took you somewhere, like there's a reason, and so that you followed your spirit. Talk about going back in time. Well, first of all, how many years? Tell everybody how many years you've been married.
25 years. 25
love
years
that.
this year.
And
Yes.
that's a beautiful thing.
It
That's
is
a beautiful
and
thing.
it's wonderful.
So if you could share, and I'm holding your hand because
It's okay,
I like
I
to
like
hold
that.
hands. Could you share with us how, you started out and how the two of you came together to, and when I say this, I feel so blessed to be here to help people, to help their souls open up.
I believe that. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
You're helping me feel like we are in the right place and we are doing a good thing. And I know that in my heart, but it's nice to be confirmed. Often we go through a lot of confusion, or we get so busy we don't know which way we're going or which way to go. We have a lot of choices. And in my life, in the last 25 years, I've had choices, which I didn't have before that. And it's been a wonderful thing to be able to finally discover what was right in the direction of my life. Wes and I decided to move to California because of his career, and 4 years was long enough for me. Wes might have stayed a little longer, but 4 years was long enough for me. And basically what happened was I didn't feel like the Spirit was leading me, or it was such an awkward, odd time in my life, because the first month I was there, moved into our new house, I had a horrible horse accident that put me in bed for a month, and broke my pelvis in 2 places, and just made it impossible for me to meet my neighbors, to meet my community, and feel at home with anyone. I was at home by myself with my husband, who took such wonderful care of me. He was wonderful, but it takes a village sometimes
It
to
does.
help someone, and especially during a healing time. And of course I was asking myself, why? Why did this happen? And I sometimes still don't know why, but I think sometimes God was protecting me from a lot of things. I healed, things got better. We went on with our life. California was a blessing, weather-wise, children's visits, opening those doors for people to come visit. About the third year, I really became depressed. All my family was back in Cincinnati, and I missed my children, I missed my grandchildren, I missed my mother, and I wanted to come home. And I became so depressed, I became mean and frustrated in my life, and Wes more or less told me to go home, which was in Cincinnati. We still owned a home in Cincinnati, and not come back until I was happy again. And I promptly got on a plane and came home and went to see my doctor and talked to him about my depression and started looking at real estate. And I don't know what gave me the nerve to do that, but I really think it was God leading me, because our life has been totally divinely designed. And we would not be where we are today if, now sometimes it took us a little longer to get where maybe we were supposed to be, but we got there eventually in the time that it was supposed to be. Because I think we are all exactly where we're supposed to be right now, this minute. But I promptly started looking at real estate, looking at farms, and told Wes when he came home at Christmas time, meaning Cincinnati, we were going to look at some farms. And he was open to that suggestion. That's always been the wonderful thing about Wes. He's always been open to the suggestions, and we looked at several farms. And I felt drawn to this farm, Sabbath Song Farm, and it ended up being the one that we were fortunate enough to get. And we moved in June, and that was the house down the street on 100 acres, and
Which is beautiful.
that became our home. And then the adjacent property came available that we're sitting on right now, and we were fortunate to be able to buy it and didn't know what we were going to do with it, but there was a 100-year-old barn that had been converted into a home on the property, and we decided to make it a bed and breakfast.
I absolutely can say that when we came here last night, my children, and I'm just saying this is about family. I had an opportunity to go down to your house, and what I love about the intention that you and your husband hold and the intention about what you do is it's about wholeness. And wholeness is family. And it extends beyond family. It's community.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sharing. So then you came here, and I'm going to go back if that's okay.
Fine.
And if you're just tuning in, you are listening to InnerViews. I'm Kimmie Rose, and you're listening to Telos TV Network, and we're so happy to have. Welcome back to InnerViews. I'm Kimmie Rose, and you are watching Telos TV Network. I'm so happy that you are taking the time to be present here with us. This is Carolyn Boatman. Her and her husband own this beautiful space, this beautiful retreat center called Sabbath Song Farms. And you can find that on the web if you go to sabbathsongfarms.com. And I'll tell you, my children, when they were watching the video you had on, they were in awe of it. Like it's just, but it when you get here, you can feel the vibration.
Oh, good.
So you're talking about just trusting, okay? And we're going through such a time where everybody's saying 2012, 2012, things are crazy. Oh my gosh, the end of the world, the sun's going to crash into the earth. And I feel like it's about awareness, and I feel like it's about people connecting and really going within and doing what you did. You really started to listen. inside. And when you said that you just, and I got to go back, your husband said go. Now, a lot of people would take that in their egos as, are you kicking me out of our, what's going on? Are you kicking me out? But I have to ask you, did you feel that a
No,
little?
not at all. I've always felt such security in our love for each other, and that's a gift. That is truly, truly what I believe we both are blessed with, the security of love that we have for each other. When I married Wes, he's a musician, and I had a friend that was a musician's wife, and she always said, well, I know my husband loves his guitar more than me, but that's okay, as long as it's just his guitar. And she could live with that. And I always had that in my head. Of course, my husband plays keyboards. So I thought about that for a little while and always wanted to be loved more than his keyboards. And I really, in my heart, know that I am. But he loves his music. And when you take what a person's passion is away from them for your own need, you lose them. You truly lose them. And that's what he gave to me. He gave me the freedom to be the artist that I was born to be. I was told by my mother when I was in kindergarten that I was an artist. She was not patronizing me by saying, you are a little artist. She was saying to me, you are an artist, by the artwork that I brought home from kindergarten on. And I knew in my heart I was an artist because my mom had told me. But I never let myself be called an artist until I was over 50 years old. I would have never gotten to that point if I hadn't been with someone who encouraged that art within me and believed in me and believed the artist in me. That's the gift he's given to me. I've believed in him and believed in his music and loved his music, and he has gotten where he is today on his talent, fabulous talent. I would have probably been a starving artist, I'm afraid to say, but that's okay because someone in my life has loved this starving artist and let me be me. And that's what we all are striving to be, no matter what the income, no matter what, if it makes us feel whole. That's what it's all about.
You said that. You said something so significant about letting me be me. And I think so many people, many of you out there, are looking and you're going, I'm stuck in this job. I couldn't really do the things I love to do. And coming here, I just love this because you're giving people this opportunity to discover. You have to take chances, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about fear.
I have been fearful many times in my life, and I've been working on that just recently. It's just something that you've asked me about that, because my journaling and my meditation has been all about facing my fears. I get this feeling inside of me, this angst, this nervous stomach, up until 2 weeks ago.
Up
No, I
until
guess it
2
was
weeks
3,
ago.
yeah, off and
Okay.
on.
Okay.
I mean, when we moved to California, my constant mantra was, place my feet, keep my heart. I was so frightened of being away from home and living in a strange, big place. And when you don't live in a place and you tell people you're moving to California, they, oh, be careful. The first instinct in you is like, yeah, I know. Am I supposed to be afraid? And I was afraid.
Well, there's the question, though, is
Yeah.
something outside of you.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I knew I had to constantly keep my mind focused that I was safe. And that mantra helped me greatly. I just shared that mantra with my granddaughter who's leaving for college Monday. And she is a dynamic young woman, but she is scared leaving home for the first time. And I told her, to just whisper to herself every time she felt that empty, scared feeling, place my feet, keep my heart. And to me, that is asking divine power, the Master Creator, God, to place my feet where He wants me. But keep my heart. Don't ever let my true love for Him or her or Creator waver. And it has honestly kept me within my boundaries. I mean, I've gotten a little shaky here and there.
And that's normal, right?
It is normal.
That's
It's so
humanness.
human.
Yeah. That's true.
So up until 3 weeks ago, I was still dealing with fears.
Let's stop and let's talk about fear when we come back, because that's really important, especially in these times that we're going through. I receive a lot of emails from people who are saying, what's going on? What's going on? And I think that I'm reading about Mr. Roosevelt. He said the only thing that you can truly fear is fear itself. And that's something I'd love for you to share with people, because I really believe that there's a way. I'm Kimmie Rose, and you are watching Interviews on Telos TV. I am very blessed to be joined here with Mrs. Carolyn Boatman, and I wanted to say Wes, but maybe, well, you two are just so connected. I just love this. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about how you can really process things and work through things, and how you truly can live heaven on earth. We'll be right back.
Recently, facing this interview today, normally I would just have butterflies and I'd be just a wreck. Last week I